People are obsessed with finding the fountain of youth. They buy everything under the sun in order to try to stay young. But the funny thing is that the fountain of youth does exist, and it's right here inside of us. We are taught that people of a certain age should look a certain way. On my 50th birthday, I went to visit my dad. When I reminded him that it was my birthday, he asked me, "How old are you?" I said, "Dad, I'm 50. And he laughed and he said, "You can't be 50 because you don't have short, white, curly hair." Now, from my dad's generation and perspective, all women in their 50s had to have really short, white, permed hair, like my mom did and my grandmother. But that's not me, not even well into my 60s. No matter what generation we're in, we all have an idea of what someone in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s should look like. But why? In our Western culture, especially, I think it is these things that we expect to happen that causes most people to go out and buy all the products, the serums, and the devices to make themselves look younger. But the true fountain of youth is within us. It's our mindset. I intuitively knew this, but when I discovered a wonderful book that was published in 1909 called Why Grow Old by Orison Swett Marden, then I knew it. Now, this book is in the public domain of the United States and can be freely copied and distributed as there is currently no copyright. So I'm super excited to share this information with you in this video. Now, this book is only 30 pages long and easy to read in one setting, but I wanted to break it down for you into 4 main parts or themes because the book does kind of jump around a little bit. The 4 main things that you need to know to stay young are, number 1, be aware of your thoughts and your mental attitude about aging. Number 2, continue to use your imagination and have fun. Number 3, keep learning and growing. And number 4, love all humanity. Now, let's go deeper into each one of these ideas. Number 1, whatever you think about aging will happen. Orison Marden writes, "Thought leads. If it is an old age thought, old age must follow. If it is a youthful thought, a perennial young life thought, a thought of usefulness and hopefulness, the body must correspond. Old age begins in the mind. The expression of age in the body is the harvest of old age ideas which have been planted in the mind. We see others about our age beginning to decline and show marks of decrepitude, and we imagine it is about time for us to show those same signs. Ultimately, we do show them because we think they are inevitable. But they're only inevitable because of our old age mental attitude and race habit beliefs. Or we can choose to not show them, and they won't be inevitable. That's my choice. So this is so funny because this happens to me all the time. I'll be getting ready to go out surfing or coming back from a surfing session, and people come up to me and tell me how inspiring I am because I'm still getting out there in the water. And I know that these men and women are around my age in their 60s, but they look so much older than I do, and they're definitely not in good shape. Orison writes, "We look as old as we think and feel because it is our thought and feeling that change our appearance. We each get to choose. I choose to be fit and surf every day doing what I love. Others decide to get old and stop moving. It's all a choice. You create your own reality." Orison writes about an illustration of the power of the mind to keep the body young that was published in the London Lancet. He reports that a young woman, deserted by her lover, became insane. She lost all consciousness of the passing of time. She believed her lover would return, and for years she stood daily before her window watching for him. When over 70 years of age, some Americans, including physicians who saw her, thought she was not over 20. She did not have a single gray hair, and no wrinkles or other signs of age were visible. Her skin was as fair and smooth as a young girl's. She did not age because she believed she was still a girl. She did not count her birthdays or worry because she was getting along in age. She was thoroughly convinced that she was still living in the very time that her lover left her. Now that's a crazy story, but proves Orison's point. He also writes, "Be sure of this, that whatever you feel regarding your age will be expressed in your body. It is a great aid to the perpetuation of youth to learn to feel young, however long we may have lived, because the body expresses the habitual feeling, the habitual thought. Nothing in the world will make us look young as long as we are convinced that we are aging. Now, I'm convinced that I'm going to be able to surf as long as I want to." Number 2, keep using your imagination to stay young. Orison writes that one great trouble with us is that our imaginations age prematurely. The hard, exacting conditions of our modern, strenuous life tend to harden and dry up the brain and nerve cells, and thus seriously injure the power of the imagination, which should be kept fresh, buoyant, elastic. The average routine habit of modern business life tends to destroy the flexibility, the delicacy, the sensitiveness, the exquisite fineness of the perceptive faculties. And that's so true. As adults, people stop dreaming and creating and thinking in terms of possibilities and opportunities. He's saying to stop taking life so seriously, stop the grind, take time to play, dream, and have fun. To maintain youth, be optimistic and live in peace. Be calm and live in serenity. Be kind and cheerful and harmonious to all. When I was in my 30s, I was in that grind of hard work and raising my boys as a single mom. I was all about working hard and taking on a multitude of projects. I wasn't having a whole lot of fun. Then I met my boyfriend and my now husband. He was all about having fun and living life to the fullest. When I turned 40, he took me and my kids on our first real vacation. He took us down to Baja for a 2-week camping trip on the Sea of Cortez. We had a blast. That trip was 24 years ago, and we've traveled a lot lately. Now, my husband knows how to have fun and definitely helps to keep me feeling young. In order to keep using your imagination to stay young, Orison writes, every time you think of yourself, make a vivid mental picture of your ideal self as the very picture of youth, of health and vigor. Think health, feel the spirit of youth and hope surging through your body. Form the most perfect picture of physical manhood or womanhood that is possible to the human mind. Yes, I've been doing this for years, knowing exactly what I want to look like and how fit I want to be. Number 3, keep learning, growing, and being interested in the world around you. Orison writes, another reason why so many people age prematurely is because they cease to grow. It is a lamentable fact that multitudes of men seem incapable of receiving or accepting new ideas after they have reached middle age. Never allow yourself to get out of the habit of being young. Do not say that you cannot do this or that as you once did. Live the life that belongs to youth. Do not be afraid of being a boy or girl again in spirit, no matter how many years you have lived. Carry yourself that you will not suggest old age in any of its places. Remember, it is the stale mind, the stale mentality that ages the body. Keep growing, keep interested in everything about you. And you know the saying, right? If you're not growing, you're dying. I believe that it is very important to keep growing by reading and learning and studying to keep a youthful mind. I also believe that it's important to keep working out to increase your physical abilities. My personal belief about getting older chronologically is that for every year that I'm alive, I should be healthier, stronger, mentally and physically, smarter, more creative, wealthier, more imaginative, and more spiritually connected to my higher self. Orison writes, "We must learn that living, acting, experiencing should not exhaust life, but create more life. It is a law that action increases force." Number 4, love all humanity. That's a personal mantra that I live by. I believe that when we stop judging and criticizing ourselves and others, life becomes much more calmer and peaceful and full of love. Orison writes, "I know of no remedy for old age conditions so powerful as love. Love for our work, love for our fellow men, love for everything. It is the most powerful life renewer, refresher, recreator known. Love awakens the noblest sentiments, the finest sensibilities, the most exquisite qualities in man." Now, I hope that you've enjoyed learning about this book, Why Grow Old? I believe that we can be healthy and fit and strong no matter what our chronological age is. And if you missed my video, How to Stay Fit and Medication Free at 63, then I highly suggest that you go back and check it out, especially if you need some inspiration to start living a healthy lifestyle. You see, it's never too late to get started. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.